Hello and happy May Day. That's May, Lei, as in what is worn in Hawaii, or if you're at a luau. So this is an excuse for me to show you some costuming that I have from being in Polynesian dance troupe. And one of the props, it's not a lei, but it's part of my original costume, is my pareo that came all the way from Hawaii. And I'm going to show you a few others as well, um, and go into the history and the meaning of the flower lei. So before we do all that, let's, in case you're not sure what a flower lei is, I'm prepared for show and tell. So this is probably the more traditional, I shouldn't say traditional, but what you're accustomed to seeing. So you've got your flower lei, and then sometimes, oh, this shows up on camera. There we go. Sometimes it's a necklace of shells. And I'll explain to you that a lei is not always a flower lei. And a lei does not necessarily always mean it's a necklace. So this is also from my original costume. It can also be a circlet, and it can also be bracelets. And so if you have ever seen, I'll go ahead and take this off, but if you've ever seen a hula dancer, you'll see that they have so much more than just a flower lei. And sometimes it's not just flowers, and it's not always a circlet. I'm going to back up so you can see this. So this is also from my original costume from being in Polynesian dance troupe. And you'll see that this is not a complete circuit. It's really more like a feather boa. And so leis can take so many different styles, shapes, colors, and materials. So let's get into it. Got my notes here so I don't forget anything. And when you think of a flower lei, you think of hula, you think of a Hawaiian dancer, you think of if you've ever seen, like in a movie or on a TV show, where somebody gets off the plane or off a boat or whatever, and there's someone to welcome them, and they put the lei on over their, over their shoulders, around their neck, and a kiss on the cheek. This is not truly an ancient custom. It's really more from the early 1900s. It's really more, I would say, for the tourists. And ancient Hawaiians, for my research, they would actually touch their nose to the other person. So the kiss on the cheek, I think that's just more a modern tourist trappy kind of thing to do. And as far as who invented the lei, we'll probably never know for sure. Now, lore tells us that the younger sister of Pele, she's the one who first invented it. And of course, it, like I showed you, it can be a wreath, it can be bracelets, and it can be made from seeds, fruit, flowers, leaves, ferns, seaweed, shells, feathers, and sometimes even human hair. And it can even go all the way back to the Tahitian ancestors. It's possible that they brought that along to Hawaii. So this is not just for people to wear or gods or goddesses. There were huge temple complexes, and they contained offerings, offering stands, and this is a structure. And on top of this, people would leave their offerings like fruit, vegetables, animals, and leis. So the deities, they, uh, just like humans, they enjoy wearing them, they enjoy giving them away. So leis are not just for the humans. or and it can be even for the deities and even for the temples. And then of course hula dancers. That's the first thing you think of when you think of someone wearing a flower lei. So this is actually a sacred symbol. It's because hula is considered sacred, and it is sacred to the goddess Laka. And these are handled very carefully. They're not something frivolous to throw away. Uh, so in our modern day, if you're at a luau, just think of the spiritual connotations associated with the lei. The colors can be very varied, very varied. The colors can be varied because they're made from different natural materials, and then over the time, over people incorporating new and different things, um, there are certain colors that are traditional. They represent certain things. And they can be worn by men or women. Um, and of course, everyone thinks of the flower lei, but um, you can also use plants as well as fruit. You got the flowers, you've got the materials that you would use to thatch a roof. You can use that to make a lei. The shells and seaweed and um, just if you think about the lush greenery all over, then that is what people would use to make their lei even today. So here are some um, things to consider when wearing a lei. There are certain taboos. So it is said that a pregnant woman should not wear a lei because it is believed that the child inside her could be strangled by the umbilical cord. Also, dreaming of a lei is to let you know that someone you know is pregnant. You should never give away a lei that's been given to you, because that's considered bad luck. And if someone's wearing one, you should never ask for that one. So, in other words, keep the lei you have, don't give it away, and don't ask for someone else's. And once you've worn a lei, some of your life force, which is known as mana, that is contained within it. And so therefore, that's why you wouldn't take somebody else's or someone shouldn't take yours. So never leave it lying around where someone else can grab it, because it is believed that if somebody has that, then they can send negative energy your way. So there is some lore and a little bit of history of the flower lei. And if you find yourself with a lei, just think about not just the beauty of it, not just the fun, but also the sacred history. And until next time, I say aloha.